Hello and welcome to the show. A new update for BeamNG Drive has come out. Naturally, I am going to want to have a look at it. A couple of big things have been added. Car sounds, I say added, changed around. Car sounds, a lot of new different engine sounds for the various vehicles, which is always much appreciated. And we have, interestingly, and I can't say I was particularly expecting this as a feature, but we have a procedurally or randomly generated racetrack designer, which is, it does things a little bit differently as well. It's not like some of the other games, we play like Dirt 4, for example, that'll build you a rally stage. If anything, this should be closer to an autocross stage. Suits me very, very well. I like Autocross. I like a very technical little drivings. So you'll notice we've got a new section over here called Time Trials, which we can click on. We'll bring up this little menu. We can select a map to use. Now, you can use Time Trial. You can go around any of the various areas that have a racetrack. There are time trial versions of the good old Reckoning circuit as well, if you want to try and do fast laps and so on. Anyway, we're going for procedural tracks in this one. Now, when you load up this, there are some kind of basic ones around that you can use. Some of them are considerably meaner than others, or you can go for a random track. And this will completely randomly generate a circuit for you. That is what we are going to do. You can have whatever, so if you want to try the track, whatever this is going to come up with, that's the seed that that you need to know. You can put in, you can try and beat my time. At the moment, the best times for stuff is kind of put together. So, like this time down here, for example, the 225 was on a very long circuit. These are all done on different, I think only those two are done on the same tracks. They're all done on different circuits. It does kind of dump everything in one leaderboard. I'm sure that'll be fixed and so on. It's okay. This game's been in development for a fair while. They are adding new features. Yeah, this is an interesting new feature. For vehicle-wise, we will go and grab something. Now, I got stacks of different mods stored at the moment. I'm not going to play around with any mod cars today. The sound changes have broken various mods and so on, or sound-wise, because, well, funny enough, there's all drawing sound files in different ways, I suspect. Oh, can I not? I didn't mean to double-click on that. I'm going to single-click on that because I wanted to go and select something relatively fast. Shall we go for the track sport? Sure, we'll go that. They've also changed how they do the little background images. Now you can tell which ones are official game ones, which ones are mod. Got a little game icon and so on. Yeah, I've slightly changed the pictures around and whatnot. We're going to grab the Track Sport Barstow and see what circuit this will generate for us. Well, here we are on the start line. Looking around, this is going to be a relatively long, relatively long map. I'm fine with that. I am A-okay with that. You will also notice there are some, well, I say some different HUD elements. This is just what the game will now default to giving you in terms of information. It's quite interesting. Various bits and pieces. We are going quite on the slidey front. Now, these circuits, as I said, are very, very mean. They are very narrow, they are very winding. I actually highly recommend a rear-wheel drive car. Very rare you will hear me say this, but you do really need a car that you can get the back moving around on, shall we say, at times, because it is so narrow. I did try with a couple of all-wheel drive. We'll grab an all-wheel drive car after this one, and you will see the issues. It does help being able to chuck the car around these very, very tight hairpins to actually complete the course. I say relatively quickly. I have no idea. Oh, carefully does it. No idea how good or a sort of time this thing is going to be setting. But yeah, we'll grab something all-wheel drive next. I'm liking this though as a vehicle to drive around here. This is actually also going to show quite the improvements that have been made to the Beam handling model. I remember the very early days of Beam, and the cars weren't the easiest of things to drive, especially not if you were giving them a course like this one, but over the course of many updates, they are now actually quite good fun. Actually quite good fun to chuck this car around here. It's a nice responsive vehicle. It's, carefully does it through there. You can actually, even me can control sliding this thing around without too tremendous amount of difficulty, and across the line and pop into the wall. That's probably the only crash. Hopefully the only crash you'll see with this if things are going well. So a 135.4 from a relatively high-end Barstow. We're going to go and grab something a little bit different. Okay, there we go. We can get into the vehicle menu is apparently going a little bit slow today. Shall we? So we want like all-wheel drive, track race related. Let's go grab a Sunburst. I think there's a couple of track versions of this. I've got street tuned. There we go, there's a track version, or we could go, maybe we'll not go quite for the crazy hill climb version. Let's go and grab the track version. Difference between those, this has got a DCT double clutch transmission, I assume. It's got a slightly different sort of gearbox in this. I don't actually know how much of a difference it makes in terms of speed, but we will give it a go and see how it drives around this circuit. Well, we have a slightly bogey-coloured Sunburst. Can I cheat and wiggle the car forward? No, I can't. Damn it, the handbrake actually works and holds the car in place. We're looking at a 35-something or other to try and go faster. Oh, we almost took out the wing mirror. Now, this will have the added benefit of the acceleration, because, of course, it's all-wheel drive. It might actually have more power than the... Oopsie-daisy. Careful, that's the wrong... Go, 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 go. It might have a fair bit more power than the Barstow that we used before. I believe it is a different engine note for this car as well. You can hear in the background behind all of the squealing tyres. Actually, this circuit isn't too terrible for the Sunburst. I have driven around a lot. Oh god, wrong gear, and then you get that big old turbo lag. I have driven around a lot worse circuits for the high-powered all-wheel drive cars. Slow down up here. Maybe make the turns. Now, of course, because of the way that this works with the checkpoint system, we might have a very big crash there. No, we got away with it. Just, yeah, the way this works with the checkpoint system, you can at times be a little bit cheaty. It's kind of down to you as to how much you want to be trying to drive these sensibly. There are some circuits I've come across where you could kind of cut out big swathes of them if you were wanting to. Personally, I don't. I want to be doing this one here properly. That was much quicker indeed from the Sunburst. Yeah, that's actually not the worst circuit for the all-wheel drive cars. I quite like it though. It's an interesting. It's a little bit faster actually than quite a few of them. There wasn't quite so many horrendous hairpins and whatnot. Let's go and change configuration. So we will go and change a couple of numbers in all of that. Oopsie, or we'll just get rid of a couple of numbers in all of that. Sure, we'll grab that particular seed. What car shall we go for? Let's go for a 200BX. This sounds like, I don't want to go for a basic model. Who wants a basic model 200BX? Come on, game. We can get through here. I'm not the most patient of people, you might have noticed. Shall we? Do we go for a demon? Yes, let's go for a demon. That sounds like it can only end well. Oh, what hell have I managed to create here? There are a lot... Okay, it's not so bad over in that corner. There's a lot of roundabouts. It's like Milton Keynes going on here. just scaled down. Well, we've got a really powerful car. And this is the... It actually looks like this might be a complete lap rather than a point-to-point thing. Maybe? Sometimes you won't start in a specific little area, if you like. Sometimes you will just start by the side of the track, like a specific gate and so on. This does actually look like a complete lap sort of a thing. Right, let's get off and underway. Oh, we've got big turbocharger on this one. Not going to like the relatively higher gear stuff. Oh, okay, well... did we... Oh, we didn't actually technically get that checkpoint. We're just going to go... Oh, this is a lot more powerful than I was kind of prepared for. Maybe you can't cheat as much as I thought you did. Maybe you do actually have to hit the checkpoints in the right direction for them to count. Okay, maybe you're not able to make up your own road as much as your own path cheatily through the course as I thought you would, because I definitely hit that when I was going at a weird angle. Oh, this is a challenge for the old throttle control. Where are we going here? Round, spin. Don't too much spin, far too much spin, and we go round in a circle. This was not a good choice of car. Interesting challenge. We've done far too many spinny roundy stuff. Oh, god damn, this thing is savagely powerful. Have I bent a wheel? A little bit. In fact, I say a little bit, a fair bit actually going on. We're now pulling quite badly. Ooh, there is no grip. Oh, we've done it again. Can we... Or maybe we'll have to smack the other side trying to balance it out. This is not a good car for autocross at all. I mean, I can drive it sensibly. I could drive it without getting the back end out whatsoever, and that would be the way, probably, to do things. I was trying to use some speed. It just snaps so quickly on you around here. It's, yeah, a challenge, that is for sure. So we're going to go round this one. This is actually quite a... as I said when I looked at it, this is quite a mean one. It has a lot of going round in circles and then made doubly worse by me being in a drift car, essentially. Not really got the... not really got the handling. This might be... I say this might be one of the longer courses that I've done. That is partly because I've spent a lot of the time pointing the wrong direction. I think the longest kind of a lap that I've come across is a or lap stage, whatever you want to call it, is around about the 2-minute mark. Managed to stall the engine because I'm a tool. It does seem to be that there is a direction to go through the checkpoints. If you go through it the wrong way, game will get a little bit angry at you. I'm just going to actually give this a try. So we head through here, this direction. Yeah, okay, so less cheating options than initially thought. That's quite clever. I approve of that. It will force you. I still think there might be places where you can cheat, where you can jump the corners a little bit. That being said, it is... Oi, and around we go. That's a tough course. It's a very tough course with a car like the Demon. Too much power and nowhere near enough rear grip. Probably would have worked better on that first circuit that we loaded up. Ooh, I know what we'll go for. Ooh, we'll go for an ETK. We'll go for an I-Series. Shall we go and grab something like a... Well, we won't go for a full-on track car. Shall we go for something like these? Sport. What's the difference between the TI and the TX? One's rear-wheel drive, one's all-wheel drive. Let's go for the rear-wheel drive one. We'll be brave. So, we have a 2-minute 30-something to try and beat. We should be able to, quite frankly. Ooh, I like the new engine in... I think it's a new engine in this. Definitely don't remember that sound. That's cool. Yeah, I'm liking these new engines. It's now very weird having gone from crazy ludicrous mobile to this thing, and it's now all of a sudden much tamer. Sounds savage, much tamer. I say much tamer again, you know, we are in comparison to a big old crazy mobile. This is a real fiddly bit. And around we go. There we go. Power, acceleration, just about got the grip down here. Oh, no, we can't get the front end turned in, and then we're going to try to get on any power. We're going to slither our way out of the corner, but it's all control. We're not breaking wheels, which is a bonus. With this, I'm kind of... that's too much. I'm kind of surprised by this sort of game mode being put in... I say being put into Beam. It is, you know, just adding more to the game. It doesn't really make the most of the game's strong points. With these being such technical circuits, if you have a crash, tends to be a fairly minor one. Like, damage and so on is the real big selling point of this game. You know, the failures when you're doing some of the other time trials, you smash your car into the cliffside, into the trees, and you know, a huge amount of damage done to the vehicles. Okay, this is the downside with these rear-wheel drive cars. I'm having issues with spinning a lot. Yeah, because this doesn't really make the most of the damage. And if you are playing Beam mostly because you enjoy wrecking cars, you're probably not going to have a huge amount of fun with this game mode. Now, I happen to love very technical courses, Autocross essentially. I'm a big fan of the old Autocross. So this works very well for me. It suits my kind of driving, suits the way that I want to play a game. It gives you very interesting demands for a vehicle, for whatever it might be. But you can go and take the trucks around these courses if you want to be a real crazy fool. We probably will at some point. Hey, that's almost worked, chucking that into there. We are going to go quicker than the Demon, only just though, as we come up towards this final corner, and that will be that. Despite the Demon spinning out about 3 or 4 times more, it was only 10 and a bit seconds slower. Okay, that was a interesting circuit. Again, we're gonna... Shall we... Again, I'm not bothering changing too much of this. We'll just go for a few different characters. What car shall we go? Oh, I know what we'll go and get. We'll get Wobblematic suspension, because that is the best suspension to have to deal with a crazy course. Or do we go Wobblematic suspension on a drag car? That could be interesting. Well, this particular course looks still relatively mean. Doesn't look like the nastiest thing that we could have possibly come up with, which is quite helpful for a drag car that's going to really struggle to get around these corners because it's going to want to wheelie itself off the line. There we go, and then not really turn. I've got to be very, very wary of the handbrake as well. Potentially, bucking the car around. Now, my challenge is going to be, after we've done this with a drag car, I'm going to see if a covert, like a mid-spec covert, can go faster around here. Because the covert will be much more suited to this sort of a thing, but of course will not have, well, that acceleration. Not that this is really getting much acceleration, because the gearbox is a pile of garbage, it seems. Come on, drag car, get around there. We'll just sort of blip the throttle. This is this is very much a point and squirt car right now. It's bounce and wobble your way through the corners. There we go. Look at it go. Bounce and wobble, use the handbrake as well. This is the sort of thing that I like in games. Something stupid. Trying to get a car that's never intended to go round an autocross course to go round a really nasty autocross course. Come on, get turned. I'm trying to vaguely stick to the track as much as I can. And to be fair, the game will force you into these narrow choke points anyway, so you can't get away necessarily. But of course, you still got to get the checkpoints from the right angle. You can't necessarily go too far wandering in the quest to find a better racing line through a corner, which is, yeah, I quite like the gates are quite a clever way of forcing you, for example here, to get back on the line, gears, oh, that's in a park, go on, oh, the bad things have happened. I might have tried to go from reverse to first a little bit too quickly, and, well, that's a bye-bye to the drive. Drive shaft. I don't actually think I've managed to do that before with a car. Let's have another go with Wobblematic Bouncy thing. That is the new official name for the burst. Look at it go! We've barely even got to the first corner, and it's already bouncing and rocking its way around. Handbrake. Oh, I can't really handbrake my way into that corner very easily. Well, it's a little advantage. I say it's a little advantage to the burn side. I still don't know what the end of the course is like. I slightly know this bit. Only ever so slightly. Yeah, we're slightly. It's a little bit cheating with that approach to the corner, for example. We can take a wider line in, but then we really need to be mindful through the turn. And handbrake around there. Oh, God, it's getting... Yeah, it's quite mean. As far as the actual procedural generation goes of the tracks, I've only come across one circuit that had a bug. It was one of the roundabouts was placed in the middle of a straight section for another corner. So essentially down here, for example, the circuit was wanting you to go towards, well, this roundabout, and then there was another one in the middle, the way the course kind of looped back on itself. I've only seen one, though. On the most part, they're pretty good at not kind of having their roads cross over each other and getting confused, which, considering the technicalness of these circuits, is quite impressive. Right, now let's not shred the drive shaft as we go to set off here. This is really difficult to do. There's a lot of handbrake grabbing. I've not even got that checkpoint. We've got to get back into reverse again. Can we get it from a better angle here? Let's not try and just launch the car so aggressively. I'm having a sneaking suspicion that the Covid is going to win this showdown if we can actually make it to the finish line of this one. That's better. We're at least going to get... Oh, I say it's better. It's not better. My steering was fairly buggered and me wheeling didn't. Oh! Fire! How is that set on fire? What is set on fire over there, in fact, is a very good question. Final try. I'm not sure this was the best choice of drag car to try and do this one with, but... Oh, crap, I've already bounced off a wall. The Burnside is a very, very strong car. We've seen it time and time again, certainly in the Reckoning and Baja Rama circuit and so on. This is a difficult vehicle to kill, and we are managing to kill this vehicle. And I said about damage not necessarily being so much of a thing around here. That is true for the most part. When you start taking silly vehicles, then it will be an issue, potentially. Just trying to fit this car through the gates. In fact, I said about the trucks. They'll work up until you get one of the gate bits, because I'm not sure the truck will fit through the gate. So yeah, maybe taking trucks is a little bit more of a difficult thing to do. Come on, get around this corner. I'm trying to be careful here. Carefully does it. trying to actually minimise, as much as I kind of need to use the handbrake sometimes, I'm trying to minimise my use of it, as that's where we kind of bounce and bobble our way around a corner, which is a little bit awkward, and you're liable to end up in a slightly wrong position. We're taking the optimum racing line-ish into the hairpin there. Wait, don't get on the power too soon. The car will buck if you... I only have to use a tiny little bit of throttle. I'm trying to be as delicate as I can with this car. Still, there is so much power that the tiniest bit of throttle... And I do need to try and make up some time somewhere, which is going to be with down these straights. Tiniest bit of throttle and the car bucks around wildly. We must be coming towards the end of this. Now, we've got further than we've ever got before. And we're not going around in circles. We're still struggling, though. We might not have to be going around in circles, but we've still got to go around tight corners. Oh, bugger, we've got another turn. Another big old hairpin to do. Come on, drag car. Come on, drag car. Oh, chuck it into the corner, like so. Accelerate towards the next one. I'm being a little bit more lenient with track limits. That's the finish line. I think that's a 151.4. Okay, that is what we must try and beat with a covert. Now, how brave do I reckon? Covert. There it is. Now, how slower a version of the covert? So things like the track covert, the rally covert, and so on, street tune are probably all going to be able to do that fairly straightforwardly. Do we reckon? Okay, the beta, not going to try. Skid plate, not going to go for either. Do we reckon a 1.5 LXI? Do we reckon that can do a 151.4? I reckon it might be. I reckon it might be able to do that. Well, we're going to have considerably less power. However, we should be much more controlled through the corners. So while we won't get up to the, I say we won't get up to the same sort of speeds in terms of the straight line sections. It's going to carry more momentum through the turns, and the drag car just couldn't really use its power anyway. The drag car was struggling to put most of its power down regardless, so we might not be that much slower than it in terms of straight line, and we have a lot more composure. Of course, actual sort of traction out of the corner, this thing is going to struggle. The drag car doesn't have a problem with launching itself. It's not wheel spin that's an issue. It has the big crazy drag tyres to deal with that one. Come on, little covert. Maintain corner speed. Maybe the little 1.5 can go quicker than the monstrous drag car. I don't think the coverts had an engine sound change particularly. To be fair, the Covet did have its own unique engine, if you like, from pretty much the get-go. Come on, little hatchback. This is actually quite good fun to drive around here, I have to say. While it's not got crazy power, and it's not, like the big oversteery cars, you can't slide it around, you can't throw it around through the course. It is actually quite good fun around here. Oh, we actually have to go to second gear on that part. And then back down to first again. Come on, 1.5 is going to it's going to actually, I think, be quite tight. Because we've still got... this is where the drag car would have probably been okay. It wasn't probably losing as much time through here. It's this sort of turn. This is where the drag car will struggle. Oh, come on, little hatchback. Get the back end around there. I think we might have just grazed the concrete wall. First gear is going to be good. We're going to do it. I think. Run to the line. Yep, we've done it with 6 seconds to spare, in fact. So it turns out the Covet is faster than a drag car when it comes to an autocross circuit. And the drag car doesn't really have the... Never mind, though. It's still a win for the Covet. I quite like the Covet. It's good fun. It's a good fun thing to mess around with. To finish off today, of course, we are going to have to try the truck. It would be remiss of me not to have a go with a semi-truck around an autocross course. There it is. I don't know. I don't think there are any new versions of vehicles added in all of this. I believe it is, sounds and this procedurally generated circuits, randomly generated. I'll go with randomly. I can actually pronounce that word. We probably want a smaller truck rather than we want a 2-axle rather than a 3-axle. We definitely don't want a flatbed. We will select that one, and we will go for another random collection of numbers and hope that we don't have too many gates. Otherwise, we will be in trouble. Well, trouble is certainly going to strike us at least once, twice, and only twice, I think, on this course. Bugger. How the rest of it will fare, I'm not sure. Would probably be good fun with a crazy powerful engine in one of these trucks. I'm not sure how good. How good is the handbrake in a truck? It's not too bad, actually. It's trying to then get going again after the fact. That's where the issue comes in. We might be lucky. I say we might be lucky. We might be able to force our way through the gate. It might just tear... Oh, no, it might actually be just tall enough to let the truck go underneath it. Oh, okay. The trucks do fit. Oh, this is a really mean combination of corners. Come on. Come on, truck. We can maybe turn there-ish. Yeah, it kind of works. I was kind of really hoping that we would go under here and it would just tear the roof of the truck off. Like, the rest of the truck be able to carry on fine, but just the roof be torn off or the cab be torn off just for amusement factor. God damn it. Come on! We can make it. I need a lot more power. I want a lot more power. I guess I could probably be in higher gear for that, all of that torque, maybe. Not really sure what gear I want to be in, quite frankly. Slide-ish. I'm trying to slide the truck around on the handbrake, as you do. Whoa, that's a little bit too close. We'll get away with bumps in the truck. The actual truck suspension and so on is very, very strong. You can pull off wheels, but it's not going to bend them up as easily as it did in the Demon, for example. The 200BX is relatively, from my experience, well known for bending up of wheels. Bounce off of that. Come on, truck, get around here. It's not the easiest. It's not the easiest of things to drive, although it could be. It could be considerably worse. This is a really mean section you've got going on here. This might actually be one of the most technical sections that I think you're going to want us to do one hairpin, and you've got to be aware, because of course there's these concrete ones from the other turns around, so you can't have like a big wide swing into all of these. Oopsie. And then around this next one, that's a lot of very, very technical hairpins. We might even be helped out by using the concrete ever so slightly to bat the rear of the truck around. That's a really nasty, nasty section towards, I hope, the end. Yeah, there's only a couple more checkpoints to go. Come on, truck! Use the speed towards the finish line. I think the only thing we're dinged up is one of the exhausts. Oh! Did I set... I might have set this to... Oh, I might have set this to more laps. I might have done that by accident. Yeah, you can set these... I was going to say, you can set these to run multiple laps. If I assume it will only work, I assume it will only generate a circuit. I don't actually quite know how it will work, because some of the circuits will generate a point-to-point, some of them generate as laps. So I don't know if you set laps and the seed is to generate a point-to-point circuit. I don't know what it'll do. Not sure on that one, but yeah, you can run multiple laps, try and go faster and so on over your previous best times. This one here is apparently not a particular improvement. I say that, it's... We're talking fractions here, and now that's really not going to help. We're not going to make that corner, so we'll just go for a crash. Yeah, a really, really cool feature. A feature I wasn't particularly expecting on this game. Something for, yeah, if you enjoy precision driving challenges, it is, yeah, very, very entertaining. Especially, you know, you can take any number of crazy vehicles and try these precision driving, and even the trucks will fit through the various gates. If you enjoy Beam for the big crashes and all of that kind of silliness, yeah, you're probably not going to get as much enjoyment out of this, because the bumps you're going to have are relatively minor. That being said, though, of course, the way that the damage model works in this game, when things do go wrong here, of course, it's still, you know, you saw me with the drag car, with the 200BX, you know, you brush the concrete walls and you'll just slightly bend wheels and that'll make life difficult. So it does still, you know, still the damage and so on does still have an impact on this. It's just you're less likely to be having the big, spectacular crashes. You're just simply not going quick enough around here, because, yeah, these courses are very, very technical. It would be interesting to see something like this with faster circuits, perhaps less technically demanding, more high-speed corners. That could be quite an interesting thing. I don't know what the future plans are with this sort of stuff, but certainly a high-speed variant of these sort of circuits could prove to be rather interesting, as it is maybe 40-50 miles an hour. Is the quickest you're really going to get, unless you are very lucky. Now, there may be, like, random generation might spawn in some, but of all the seeds, all the random stuff I've tried has never turned up any circuit that's really got any speed to it. But yeah, if you enjoy the tight technical demands of Autocross, you're going to enjoy messing around with this. The leaderboards, I have no doubt, will be sort of fixed up, sorted up, so that they are more specific to particular circuits. I don't know whether there are plans to be able to sort of save circuits rather than just having to try and remember the seed you used to generate a track you enjoyed, but yeah, it's a cool little feature. And of course, all of the new sounds for the cars are very, very nice indeed. That, though, is going to be it for this video, so thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.